Hi Sandhya, thank you for joining us today. So I recently posted this picture on Instagram of me and Ira going on a trek, and I was flooded with a series of messages asking me lots of questions, about where do you take your child hiking, where did you go, where did you get that carrier? And I was thinking that, our generation is kind of growing up now, they have children and they still want to continue their hobby of trekking. So I thought, why not ask an expert? Because for everybody to know, Sandhya has been my inspiration to go out trekking with my child, because Sandhya herself has a daughter who's around 3 years old and she's been taking her trekking for a long time. So I thought we'll learn from your experience a little bit, and also I'll ask you these questions that parents have been asking me so that they get all their doubts clarified. So my first question to you is, when did you get started with Tara on trekking? Because even you as a mother, you have to recover from that childbirth, start trekking. So at what age did you actually expose Tara to trekking?
I never wanted to stop trekking for too long. So even in the months after she was born, I had this thought that once she becomes more stable as a baby with her neck, I should start taking her out. So as a planning for this, I bought a baby carrier when she was about 2.5, 3 months, when the neck became more stable. It was an infant carrier from a brand called Soul Sling. They're pretty good. So I got her accustomed to sitting in the baby carrier around the house, inside the house. And once I saw that she was comfortable and her neck was settled, that's when I ventured into taking her outdoors hiking. When she was about 4 months old was when I did my first hike. One of the hikes just outside Bangalore city. We went out for about an hour, climbed up and then came down. And I noticed she was quite good with it. We chose the evening times when the sun is not too harsh. And the baby was perfectly fine. That gave me a lot of confidence that this is something I can do. And from then on, I think every 2-3 months I have ventured out, carried her in my bag carrier, and then we've gone on short hikes and come back. At no time did I extend the duration of the hike beyond 2 hours, because babies do tire out. Many a times they do sleep. You're lucky if they just fall asleep when you walk. But if they're awake, then more than 2 hours may be a little too much. So that's how I started. And as she grew up, when she was 10 kilos and more, I realized that if I have to do this more often, as she gains more weight and she grows up, I need a sturdier carrier. Because 10 kilos plus is not easy to carry. I needed something that mimicked a backpack that you carry on treks, and I started searching for brands that made things like these. I knew India doesn't have too many options, so I had to look at our standard backpack brands. Deuter is one such brand that is very good in making trekking backpacks, and they make these baby carriers also, which feels just like a trekking bag. It has a waist sling, and then it has very good back support, that aeration, everything is there. So I bought one such thing. It's expensive, but for me, because I plan to trek with the child for about at least 2-3 years until she's about 4 and she can walk on her own, I made this investment, and after that I have taken her on quite a few hikes, all day hikes, and still not gone camping with her. But I have even very recently took her from Sari to Dioryatal in the Himalayas. It worked very well. She was awake for much of the way up, and there was a brief period of time she slept off in the carrier, and it worked both ways. The child is quite comfortable, not just as an infant, but even now close to 3, she's pretty happy sitting on the carrier, and she walks. And when I walk, she's happy there.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that even Ira was very happy sitting at the back, because I thought she'll say, no, I want to get down, all that. But she was sitting aram se, like she doesn't have to do any effort, but she's getting all the views. So how comfortable or uncomfortable was it for you? Because carrying so much weight on your back also, not very easy. And when I was also trekking, when I had to climb uphill, I was struggling a little bit. So how is it for you to carry a baby who's almost 3 years old and trek?
Let me start from the earlier days. When a child is about 4, when a baby is 4 months old, I think it's one of the easiest periods to trek, because the babies are light, and if you have a decent carrier, you can just go on any day hike. Especially day hikes, very easy to go. So I would say make use of that time from 4 months to 1 year, go on hikes. You can hike very easily. easily, and the baby will get accustomed to it over time. Now, when they become a little heavier, about 10 kilos, that's when good carriers matter. If you are used to trekking, especially since we trek in the Himalayas, carrying a 10 kilo backpack, transitioning to a baby in a backpack was fine. It didn't feel too much. It starts becoming a little bit of an effort when the baby's weight increases to 13 kilos, 14 kilos. That's when you really need to work on your muscles, on your upper body strength. If you're able to do that, then again, trekking is easy. So, for somebody who has good upper body strength, can trek comfortably with a backpack in the Himalayas. Until the child is 2 to 4, you can trek.
Okay.
Even in the Himalayas, you can trek, but there are other considerations that you need to keep in mind before you venture into the Himalayas, especially.
So I have a few specific questions here that parents have asked me. First is that baby carrier. It seems to be something very elusive. Like, where do you find a good baby carrier? What do you look for in it? So what is your advice for parents?
Again, the infant carriers are easy to find in our own country.
Yeah,
They
that's
cost
true.
about 3,000 to 5,000. Invest in them, and then for at least for 1 year, you are safe. You can carry a child up to the age of 1. Beyond that is when, as you said, they are elusive. You don't have too many brands in India that make it. So what I did was I asked a friend who was coming from the US to get one for me. These are available in India also on Amazon, but they're very expensive here. Perhaps the import duty adds on. But in the US, especially if you look for second hand, or if you look at periods of time when they are on sale or post trekking season, like don't buy it in the peak of summer, but buy post summer or buy during Thanksgiving, you can still find something in the range 12 to 16,000, 18,000 is what you can find. A decent, comfortable carrier. They must feel just like how you're carrying a trekking backpack, a good quality backpack.
Okay.
Now, a backpack from Toyota would cost 12,000. A baby carrier would cost a little more than that. And if you are into trekking, you want to trek with your child, and you have 1 or 2 kids, or you have people to pass it on, I would say it's a worthy investment.
And it's safe to carry the baby, climb
Absolutely
uphill.
safe. Absolutely safe. It has all the safety features built in, and you can feel that the child is safe, child is happy and comfortable.
Okay. So my next question to you is, before that, let me ask you, where all have you taken Tara? Because I know you've traveled quite a bit past couple of years.
Yeah.
So where all have you taken her, specifically hiking or trekking?
Yeah. I have hiked around Bangalore. I started with that. Then I upgraded my carrier because I wanted to travel. I incidentally, up to the age of 2, babies can fly free of cost. So I wanted to make use of this, and I traveled to Canada and US back then. I did some hiking back there, both in Canada and US. And there she sat in the carrier very happy, and we did multiple hikes over there. Post that, I have been on our trek in Coorg, trek that we run in Coorg, again a day hike, go up and come down. She was quite comfortable, happily sat through those 5 hours in the carrier.
Wow.
With breaks in between, obviously. And very recently, I have trekked to Diuryatal in the Himalayas.
Okay.
So all these were very easy on the carrier.
Wow. So, as a follow-up to that, you took her to Diuryatal in the midst of the Himalayas. That must have been something. So, this is a question lots of parents ask me, that I want to take my child on a Himalayan trek. Now, many times I only stop them saying, wait for some time, let it grow a little bit. But what is the actually technical right to expose a child to high altitudes of the Himalayas? How would you suggest parents take that forward?
When a child is very young, that is 0 to 4 years, the lungs are still developing. And this is one reason why we recommend that if you want to expose your children to high altitudes, that is altitudes above 8,000 feet, especially sleeping altitude above 8,000 feet, then wait until the child is 4 at least. Up to 8,000 feet, even our Ooty is at 7,000 feet, it is okay. Darjeeling is almost 8. So it is okay. Up till 8,000 feet, you can go, you can sleep at that altitude. But beyond 8,000, wait for the child to turn 4 at least.
Okay.
So if you still want to go to the Himalayas, then you can do things like Diuryatal, where you go up and come down. Or even a Chandrashila might be okay if you go up and come down. But you must have the ability to go up and come down with the child. But no sleeping above 8,000 feet. That is the general rule of thumb.
Okay. And all right. So For trekkers now, how do you recommend they get started? Because many people want to take their children and expose on trek. So, what would be the ideal journey for a parent to expose their child on a trek in terms of day hike, overnight camping, Himalayan trek? What would you recommend?
I would say you start hiking when they are about 5-6 months old, but only day hikes are possible. You will have a carrier, take the baby along. When you put the baby down, then encourage them to explore the surrounding around you. Make them collect leaves, make them see butterflies, things like these, or collect seeds, identify worms. So all these you can do. Start doing this right from the time they're 1.5, 2 years, and by the time they are 2-3 years old, there can be periods of time on your hike where you can let the child down, where especially the surfaces are flat. You can ask them to hold your hands and walk. So I do that now. Though I carry her a little bit, there are periods of time when we hold hands and walk, or she walks independently, or I've let her walk with others. So all these can be done, and these are progressive. And when you're there, you start showing them the mountains if you're up in the Himalayas, or show them the hills, the trees. All these you can start exposing them to.
When do you plan to take Tara camping?
I would think, camping here can be done anytime, but Himalayas 4 years.
4 years.
Or at least 3.5 for a lower altitude trek.
Okay. And I want to ask you from your observation, you've been taking Tara outdoors, you've been getting her used to a lot of different things. So what is the impact of the outdoors that you see on Tara? Do you see any discernible impacts?
Yeah, every time I have taken her out on a trip, especially a slightly extended trip, then I see a huge developmental spurt that happens, like her vocabulary increases, her ability to focus increases. I have definitely seen this. Every time I go and come back, if I have traveled to the mountains, spent like 4-5 days and then I come back, there is a growth spurt. I always notice this. And with day hikes, I don't see a growth spurt, but I see that her exposure and ability to stay on doing something increases. So every outing has a positive impact, and I do see that every time.
So I noticed that this taking your child trekking right from the time they're babies and into their toddlerhood then later, this still seems to be a very Western concept. I don't see Indians doing it so much, and I think that is one of the things that made people react when I posted it, and many people told me, Swathi, you're doing something so modern, something so global. I'm like, this is what we do at work kind of thing. But why do you think it hasn't caught on in India?
One thing, we are not so outdoorsy. We are just getting to explore the outdoors more. Like even going out, when you have a free day, just going out and hiking doesn't come so naturally to us. So we as parents, as adults, should want to do that. When you do that, naturally you see ways and means in which you can take the child along and the child develops. The second thing is you need to be a little more fit. You need to be a little extra fit to actually carry a child and go along. So inculcating a fitness schedule in your daily life when you have a child can be a little bit of a challenge. But I think if we do that, then you'll see a lot more people enjoying the outdoors when you have a child.
So another question many have been asking me is Indiahikes going to organize treks for parents who can bring their tiny things along? So what is your thought on that?
It has always been a topic of discussion of wanting to do that. We need to have these toddler treks, and especially here around cities where we have small campuses, we just have to put a date and we have to start doing it.
Okay, let's hope that happens soon. But do you have any message for parents who are keen on taking their children on treks, or maybe who are a little bit hesitant to do that?
I want to say that just because you have a child doesn't mean you have to take a break from trekking. Continue trekking, have that mindset that I want to continue trekking, and work a little bit on your fitness. If these two come together, then there is enough support to take your children out on hikes. Even if you don't have a toddler or children's trek, you can go with an adult group and still take your child along and go on a hike.
Thank you so much. I think that's a beautiful message, Sandhya. So that is for all parents out there who have had children recently or who have toddlers. Sandhya's message is you don't have to give up your hobby of trekking. Just make the child a part of your journey. So at Indiahikes, we do have lots of family treks. We do have treks in and around Bangalore as well, which you can use as points to expose your children to trekking. Other than that, we have our in-trek clubs that are very often organizing nature walks or small hikes around the city. You can join them as well. But if you have any questions on what it takes to actually trek with a child, drop in a comment below. We'll respond to it. We have a lot of other content about trekking in India, trekking in the Himalayas. So I hope you subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with a lot more soon. Thank you for joining us today.